If you are planning any kind of travel within 2024, I want you to stick around for the entire video because this one is for you. Hi, my name is Mackenzie Nelson. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I have traveled to 34 countries all by myself, and you will see most of those countries on my channel. And I have created one of the most perfect lists of my top 5 destinations for you to travel to in the new year. Now, this does not mean that these are my 5 favorite countries or 5 favorite places, because believe me, it is so hard to choose a favorite. And make sure you do stick around to the very end of the video because I will be sharing what is to come on my channel this year, what you'll be seeing in the new year, which I'm really excited for where I'm going in the new year. I have been editing like crazy trying to get every video I have from 2023 out onto my channel. I think I have 20 more videos to edit, and I wish I was kidding. I'm excited for the next 20 especially. With that being said, there is so much to come and you don't want to miss out, so make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notifications when I post a new video. I will be going back to posting every Wednesday and Saturday starting in the new year, so it's gonna be a good one. All right, everybody, let's get into the top 5 destinations I have for you. The very first one, not in order, is Sri Lanka. I recently went to Sri Lanka this last September, so just a few months ago, and it quickly became one of my favorite countries. As a solo female traveler, I get a little bit nervous when people warn me about a country, but that was not the case for Sri Lanka. For years, I have been told nothing but great things, so I knew one day I had to get there, and this last September was a dream come true. The thing that stood out to me the most in Sri Lanka was the locals and the local experience that I felt that I had. I felt overly welcomed and respected, especially by the men. There was even like signs in multiple of the train stops that I saw that said to be polite to women. This really went into practice in this country. People were truly really polite to each other, but especially the women. On top of that, Sri Lanka has one of the best backpacker routes I have gone through, starting in Colombo or Negombo, where you fly into, taking the very famous train to Ella, up to Kandy, after Kandy going up to Dambulla, where you get to see the Lion's Head rock called Sigiriya, then over to Trincomalee for scuba diving, and down to Aragon Bay for surfing. And really close to Aragon Bay, there's a few national parks like Yala National Park, where you could see, I think, leopards and elephants. And then lastly, probably my favorite place in Sri Lanka was the south coast, especially Weligama, which was absolutely stunning and so fun to rent a scooter and explore the whole coastline. Just before going back to Colombo on the famous coastal train ride, which was also another highlight of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka really has everything that a backpacker could want. I lost most of my footage in Sri Lanka, which I'm so gutted about, but you will see one of my favorite vlogs that I did in Weligama and that south coastline, so make sure to look out for that one. Number 2 on my list is Mexico. I've been to Mexico now, I think 5 times, and I love Mexico. Every time I go, it's a whole new experience with the same rich culture. Mexico has also created a great backpacker route, which I filmed an entire series in 2 years ago. One of my favorite things I did in Mexico ever was see the monarch butterfly migration in Valle de Brave, just outside of Mexico City. I was even tempted in 2024 to go back just to see this monarch migration once again. It happens every January to March, and in my opinion, Valle de Bravo was the best place to see the butterflies so active. Another one of my favorite places in Mexico is San Cristobal de las Casas, with so many wonderful local markets and cobblestone streets and beautiful churches and colorful buildings. Do not miss out on that city. As well as Bacalar is never to be missed in Mexico. It is this beautiful lake of 7 colors that I think about Bacalar so much. I stayed at one of my favorite hostels called the Yak Lake House Hostel, which was right across from the salsa bar La Catrina that we went to nearly every night, and you could also sail on the 7-color lagoon. I do recommend sailing instead of just taking a motorized boat. because it does preserve the beautiful colors of the lagoon. So we're just trying to look out for the environment here. Number 3 on my list of destinations for you to travel to in 2024 is Portugal. If you watched, I think, my 4 videos from Portugal, I loved Portugal. And whenever somebody asks me what's a country in Europe I have to go to, Portugal, by far. And I haven't even been to all of them, but by far, Portugal will be up there on that list. Maybe I'm a little biased because I love the Portuguese language, and Portugal felt so much like California, which is where I'm from. It just totally has a good vibe throughout the entire country. Awesome Portuguese culture, great food, and it's right next to Spain, so then you could hop over to Spain. My favorite place in Portugal, and possibly my favorite place in Europe, is Porto. If you know me at all, or if you met me in Europe at all, you would know that Porto is my favorite city. Don't let the hills of Porto and Lisbon scare you. They're so worth it. Go find those tiny neighborhoods and get lost in those streets. Number 4 on my list of destinations to travel to is Nepal. Now, I'm currently editing the Nepal series. I only filmed 3 videos there, but it was one of the best weeks I could have asked for. Nepal is just so rich in nature, and the locals are amazing, so friendly, so respectful. The food is also amazing because you can find many Tibetan foods mixed in with Indian food. I had a really difficult time traveling within the country. If you watch those videos in the future, we had to take buses, which was the cheap and local thing to do, so it was okay. They did take almost an entire day to get from Kathmandu to Pokhara, so make sure that you schedule some time to sit on a bus. But I cannot wait for the day that I get to go back to Nepal and hike to Mount Everest base camp, or even the Annapurna mountain range. Stay tuned for that. I went to Nepal in the very end of September, right after Sri Lanka, but I recommend going just a bit later because when we were there it was still pretty hot. I think that October, November are like prime months to go to Nepal. And I know many people don't like to explore the capital of countries very well or very long, because sometimes there's better things out there. And in Nepal, you should definitely branch out from Kathmandu. But Kathmandu is one of my favorite cities now. Nepal was never conquered, so Kathmandu still has all that old architecture and history in it, and you could still see it today. There are so many UNESCO World Heritage Sites that are still being preserved and that you could visit. And my very last, number 5 recommendation to go to in 2024 is South Korea. Guys, I did not expect to love South Korea as much as I did. I was in the Philippines, I was looking for a cheap flight, and I knew I was going home from Japan. I got a $40 flight, Philippines to South Korea, so I just had to go. I flew into Busan and made my way through the country up to Seoul. Busan is also high on my list of favorite cities in the world, and I can't quite tell you why. It was just so amazing. There was so many things to explore, so much to do, so many night markets with amazing food, beautiful beaches, even in November. I went for a swim. I did freeze a little bit, but it was so worth it. There are so many cute little towns between Busan and Seoul that you have to check out, like Gyeongju, where you could see these old Hanok villages, eat really traditional food, and experience local life in South Korea. I just left South Korea totally in love, and I hope it'll do the same for you. There are so many things for every type of person, and honestly I was a bit shy to backpack it because I wasn't sure if there's gonna be other backpackers. I met so many amazing backpackers that just wanted to branch off from the traditional Southeast Asia route, you know? I cannot wait for the day that I get to go back to South Korea, especially for Olive Young for my skincare products. I loved Olive Young. I use all the products every day. I will be doing an update on my skin after using those products. That video will also be coming very soon. But I hope that you love all of these countries and all these destinations as much as I do. And I hope you get the chance to travel to at least one of these in 2024 or gain a bit of inspiration. I also want to share with you what I will be up to in 2024 myself. I actually don't have have any concrete plans now. When do I ever have concrete plans? But I have lots of ideas, and I will be booking a flight very soon once I sort out the dates and logistics. But in 2024, I will be going back to South America. I plan to fly to Brazil, volunteer at a couple hostels. I'm gonna be there for Carnival in February. Then I will travel through Uruguay, into Argentina, and then into Chile. I don't know if I will be doing any Patagonia treks, but maybe a few. But I can't wait to be back in Latin culture. I am so excited. That is the plan for the first 5-ish months of 2024. After, I will probably need a little bit more money to go travel again, so I'll come home to California, and I hope to get a job where I can experience something new. I want to be a beekeeper or work at a winery, or honestly be an assistant for somebody, just to gain a bit more experience in different fields. But I just want to have a quick little job for about 3 to 4 months in the summer before leaving to travel again, and this is where I'm not totally sure what I'm doing. It really depends on how much money I make in the summer. My options are: option 1, go to Southeast Asia, totally do the banana backpacking trail, whatever you call it. Go to Indonesia, you know, fill in the gaps of where I didn't go. I also want to go to Hong Kong and China really bad, or move to Australia. I am so excited to get to Australia one of these days and do a working holiday visa. So you'll just have to stick around and see what I get up to, and I want you guys to join this adventure with me. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment, and let me know that you're here. Honestly, just comment to me right now where you plan to go in 2024. I would seriously love to know. You can follow me on Instagram right here to see any more updates that are happening in present day. But if you subscribe, it will really help me feel motivated to bring you guys along on all my journeys and to continue editing these videos, because trust me, it is hard work. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in 2024. Happy New Year!